Hello and a very warm welcome to all on Game On. I'm Neha Bharadwaj-Alter and we finally have a bit of good news coming from Paris where Aman Sehrawat has entered the semi-finals of the men's 57 kilogram category. We will get you all the details in just a bit, but first, the sad, heartbreaking news of Vinesh Phogat retiring after her long cherished Olympic dream was shattered by a cruel twist of fate. A crestfallen Vinesh Phogat has bid adieu to her international wrestling career today. Vinesh said that she doesn't have the strength to continue anymore. The 29-year-old was disqualified for being 100 grams overweight ahead of her gold medal bout in Paris yesterday. She announced her decision on social media and sought forgiveness from everyone who supported her. Addressing her mother Premlata, the three-time Olympian Vinesh wrote, and I quote, "Ma, wrestling has won. I have lost. Please forgive me. Your dreams and my courage, everything is broken. I don't have any more strength now. Goodbye wrestling 2001 to 2024. I shall be indebted to you all. Forgive me." The stunning decision came after Vinesh appealed against her disqualification from the Olympic finals in her category in the Court of Arbitration for Sports, demanding that she was awarded be awarded a point and be awarded a joint silver medal. After being disqualified for being overweight, Vinesh spent a good part of the day at a polyclinic inside the Games Village due to severe dehydration, which was caused by her desperate measures to make the weight cut. All night, Vinesh stayed up trying to lose weight. She was skipping, she was jogging in sweatsuits, without any food or water. Her coach and her team, the CMO, that's the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Dinshaw Pardiwala, CDM, Chef de Mission, Gagan Narang, IOA officials, all were with her through the night, trying to get her to lose weight, but she was still found to be overweight by 100 grams when they weighed her next morning. The sport's international governing body, United World Wrestling, has made it clear on its part that the current weigh-in rule will not be changed as of now. Vinesh's illustrious career will not include an Olympic medal. Vinesh had scripted history by becoming the first Indian woman wrestler to reach the gold medal bout in her category on Tuesday night. She was assured of at least a silver medal before the disqualification. India's three-time Olympian had won gold medals in both the Asian and Commonwealth Games. For the past 1 year, she'd also been the face of fierce protests against former Wrestling Federation of India head Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, who's been accused of sexual harassment by women grapplers. Vinesh, who's always competed in the 53 kilogram category, she was forced to come down to 50 kilograms just months before the Games after the Paris quota place in that division was locked by Antim Pangal, who herself crashed out in the first round itself, losing her opening bout on technical superiority. The Olympics journey for Vinesh has been a painful one, starting with a debut in the 2016 Games in Rio de Janeiro. The 21-year-old Vinesh had to be stretchered off the mat after suffering a career-threatening anterior cruciate ligament tear in her quarter-final bout. She sobbed bitterly through that ordeal, something that prompted an emotional response from even her opponent, China's Sun Yanan, who famously walked along with the stretcher as a gesture of support for the debutante. She rebuilt herself over the next 4 years and made it to the Tokyo Games, where she appeared a bit underprepared and was knocked out following a quarterfinal loss. Her build-up for the 2024 Games was perhaps the most controversial and tumultuous. She was on the streets for over a month, protesting against Brijbhushan and the government's inaction on the charges against him. She eventually dropped to 50 kilograms category to stay in the hunt for an Olympic spot and against all odds made it too. But as fate would have it, she fell short again. Meanwhile, Wrestling Federation of India President Sanjay Singh has requested Vinesh to reconsider her decision to retire. So in the end, Vinesh Phogat, after she was disqualified from the Olympic finals, she decided to call it quits. Vinayak Padmadev, senior sports journalist, joins us now. Vinayak, we were talking about this just yesterday. What now for Vinesh after that disqualification? And you said, badi ziddi hai, she's a stubborn one. That's what Bajrang has also said before. But it seems like the whole struggle, the challenges that life has thrown at her have turned out to be way too much for her, and she's just decided to hang up boots.
Neha, obviously, she must be very emotional as to after what happened yesterday, and this decision was taken based on that, I guess. Uh, it's my understanding, I may be wrong, and again, never doubt someone like Vinesh Phogat, right? I mean, plenty of times people have ruled her out. You know, she's overweight, she's done, she can't compete now. She's into other things. I mean, I've heard all sort of things about Vinesh Phogat. But one thing I know about her is she's, like I said yesterday, she's very stubborn. She's very determined. The moment you say you can't do it, she'll try to do it, and 9 times out of 10 she'll complete the task. So yeah, I mean, she's announced her retirement, but once she comes back, the emotions keeps in check. There'll be family around her, there'll be friends around her, the coaches, and once all this emotional thing gets over, I'm sure she'll have think through whether she wants to stay retired, do something else, or give it one last push, because I mean, if someone who deserves a medal is Vinesh Phogat.
Now, we've also had some time to just sit back and think about what happened, right? Yesterday was, the disqualification news coming in. Obviously, we were first trying to wrap our heads around how that could have happened, how she could have been 100 grams overweight. What did they do wrong? We've all had some time to think. And that's why I want to put this across to you, so that in the future, this doesn't happen to any other Indian athlete, be it a boxer or a wrestler, anybody participating in any contact sport, is that when you're trying to cut weight, what is it that India isn't doing right? Or how different are we from doing what we do than from, say, some of the other countries?
I mean, if you remember, Gaurav Biduri was raising this same point.
Yeah.
We have a simple case of Hildebrand as well. She used to compete in the 55 weight class. So when the moment they decided to come down to 50, I'm talking about Hildebrand here. So they have planned it for the entire year. Now, Gaurav was making a very pertinent point. Our athletes are only doing it at the last moment. We are, sweating, sauna baths, running, skipping, and basically sweating. Now, we have to move on from these days. These are old ways to make weight and then compete. We have to do it the right way, monitor your food intake, nutrition intake, carb intake, fluid intake, and it takes a lot. It can't happen in a space of, like, say, 2 months, 3 months, or 5 months. It takes a whole lot of time for you as an athlete, for the body to set a standard. You need to, the ideal weight should have been a kilo and a kilo half before the weigh-in. That is fine. But she was, way beyond that. So, and like we have been discussing, she doesn't have an iota of fat on her body. So the only way she could have lost it was by losing body fluids. Now, after a point, there was nothing in the body. She couldn't have, spat also. So, we have to learn our lessons from this, and the federations, Sports Authority of India, everybody who was, anybody who's involved in the sports have to have a serious rethought about it, because a lot of times we leave it to our elite athletes to do and train their way, do their way, because they have their own people. In Vinesh's case, she has a team of 5 who have been looking after and who have been with her for a number of years. So we just leave it on them. We don't monitor. We don't keep checks on this. So one of the big lessons that the authorities should learn from it is to monitor our own athletes, because such
Absolutely.
scenarios shouldn't be allowed to happen ever again.
Absolutely, very rightly said. The other thing also, given that she had her own team, they would also need to introspect. They will also need to look at what are the things that they could have avoided, what are the things that they've done wrong. Because at the end of the day, when you're competing at that level and you know that every gram matters, you cannot, that cannot be the reason. You getting disqualified because you're overweight cannot be the reason. And so the whole team will obviously go back and think of what they've done wrong, what could have been done better. But the other thing also is that for Vinesh, the fight itself has been not just on the mat. Do you think it's also sort of saying I've had enough for everything that she's been through in the last 18 months?
Yeah, first of all, I'll go back to accountabilities.
Yeah.
In this scenario, in Vinesh's case, the single most problem area is her going down to 50 kilos.
Yeah.
Now, who took this decision? Whether it was Vinesh, where the team management or managers, they'll have to put their hands up. Sorry, it's our mistake, because it was always going to happen. I've been discussing with this issue with you and few others since yesterday. Now, again, this was a huge risk that was taken by her and her management team, and it was bound to happen sooner rather than later. And I was expecting it's going to happen the first day itself. Now, she should. Her ideal weight is not 50. Her ideal weight is 53. The competing weight. So, coming back, the accountability reason, they have to take ownership on this. There's nobody else to blame. Not the federation, not the IOA, not the sports ministry.
Absolutely.
Nobody else. So they'll have to own this up. But about her announcing her decision and being emotional, it's kind of understood, because it comes. The Olympic comes every 4 years, and on the back of the protest that she ran, she became the face of it. It was too much. Can you believe she had hardly trained for almost 1 year, and yet she made it to the Olympics?
Yeah, to think, she had an operation on the 17th of August last year, and here she is beating the best in the world. So clearly, she did everything that she could have, and in the end, we can only imagine what she must be feeling. She must have been absolutely distraught, crestfallen. Words fail me, but yeah.
We are all crestfallen for her. Nobody in India, in all our evolution, would have hoped that she'll not win, not come back with medal. Nobody does that.
Sure.
I've not come across anybody who will think like that.
Yeah.
Now, so near, with a assured medal and not coming back with, anything must be devastating.
Absolutely.
Our athletes, our elite athletes are like fragile people, because they've been working hard for over the years, and the only goal is to win medals.
Yeah.
And once you're there and thereabout, and something of this sort happen beyond your control, and you don't win anything, I'm sure it's like it will break.
I just hope she changes her decision, and like we were saying, that she competes in LA and brings a medal. That's what we want from Vinesh Phogat. There's a bit of good news coming from Paris after that disappointment of Vinesh. Young Indian grappler Aman Sehrawat, he rekindled India's hopes of a medal in wrestling, demolishing former world champion Zalim Khan Abakarov of Albania by technical superiority to seal a place in the 57-kilogram freestyle semi-final. Aman was in imperious form as he toyed with Abakarov in the second round. The 21-year-old Indian locked his legs at the start of the second round and turned him over multiple times to earn 8 straight points to secure a 12-0 victory. Earlier, Aman ensured himself an easy passage into the quarterfinal with a dominating performance against North Macedonian rival Vladimir Igorov. But this is incredible. The 21-year-old Indian, an Asian Championship gold medalist and the only male wrestler from the country to qualify for the Olympics was amazingly agile as he kept his defense intact, regularly overpowering his 29-year-old former European champion. And it was really how he turned him around, not once but thrice on the mat that got him those points, and then he won on technical superiority. A quick reaction from Vinayak on this one. Vinayak, something to cheer about, not because he's reached the semi-final, but also because of how dominant he's been.
I'm very happy for Aman because like Antin, his was also a very dicey case last year because of the protests and everything that was happening around everybody else. Now he's in the semi-finals, got a tough ask against the Japanese wrestler. Let's see. I mean, I'm hoping, because wrestling is one sport, Meha, that has always returned with a medal since Beijing, where Sushil won on repechage when the world knew, as an Indian knew about what was a repechage round was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope the run continues because, I mean, I thought yesterday, was our day that we'll get gold at Olympics. Nobody from our country has won gold in wrestling. So I want this run to continue, and hopefully, he should take inspiration from Vinesh herself. She beat Yu Sasaki, so he can beat the Japanese as well. They're not unbeatable. They're very good, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
They've got moves, and they're wonderful wrestlers, but they can be beaten. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Aman gets to the final, and hopefully we'll get another chance for a gold medal in wrestling.
Absolutely. Okay, now India is now also looking to Neeraj Chopra to lift the gloom in Paris tonight as he gets ready for the men's javelin throw final. Neeraj had registered a monstrous throw of 89.34 meters in the qualification round. The Tokyo Games gold medalist faces a tough challenge as he seeks another piece of history at the Stade de France in the final. The tremendous effort which was the second best of his career, also set aside concerns surrounding Chopra's fitness after he revealed that he'd been battling an adductor niggle in the build-up to the Games. His personal best continues to be 89.94 that he achieved back in 2022. His 89.34-meter throw has also raised hopes of millions of Indian fans who obviously want to see him cross that elusive 90-meter mark. This effort was also the second best qualifying throw at the Olympics after the 89.39 meters registered by the legendary Jan Zelezny at the 2000 Sydney Games. But there was some ominous signs coming out of that qualification round which Chopra will have to be wary of. The peaking of two-time world champion Grenada's Anderson Peters, who has a personal best 93.07 meters, as well as immediate hitting of form by Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem, may indicate that the final round at Stade de France could be a classic contest. The conditions today may also be different from the qualification round. The final is expected to be cooler as it's happening in the evening as against daytime during the qualification round. Now, just like he did at the same stage in the Tokyo Olympics 3 years back, Chopra needed just a few seconds to top the qualification round with his opening throw. But the similarity ends here. This time the quality of the field was much better than Tokyo, with 9 throwers crossing that automatic final round qualification mark of 84 meters against 6 in Tokyo. Out of the 9, 5 made it to the final round with their first throws. And therefore, they all will have a lot in their tanks for the medal round. This is not going to be easy for Neeraj Chopra. The 26-year-old knows it too well, having been in the global circuit for more than 8 years. Talking to media persons after that qualifying round, he said in the final, everyone has a different mindset and a different situation. It will be a good competition. Whoever qualifies automatically is the best in preparation. Chopra has a chance to become only the 5th man in Olympic javelin throw history to defend the title. So a huge moment for India when Chopra goes on for his final contest, because everybody is expecting nothing less than a gold from him. Vinayak, how do you see this? This field is not going to be easy. It is different from Tokyo. And like I just said, even the qualification round itself, 9 of them qualified, and 6 out of those qualified with their first throws.
You rightly put that it's not going to be easy. And I was hearing you, and you were talking about how suddenly Anderson Peters has like thrown a season's best, his first throw again. Is there? There are a few others. Vatlech is there. Weber is there. John Denning is there. They're all there and thereabouts. So I mean, it's not going to be easy, but we are looking forward to it because I mean, after 1.5 days of depressing news, if I can put it like that, we are looking forward to it because Neeraj will be there and thereabouts for sure because he's competed against them over a period of time. It's not as if he's has not competed, and he's beaten most of them and handsomely. So I hope that he's going to do well because it doesn't come across any somebody who's got hopes of 1.5 billion people hoping for him to win the gold medal. He doesn't come across like that. He doesn't take pressure. He just goes there and looks like somebody who enjoys his throw. So I'm just hoping that he'll do that again. But yeah, there's always this doubt that what happens if others do, and we have never seen him under pressure ever since the time he won in Tokyo. So this is very interesting to watch. Field is very tough, but again, as an Indian, as a fan, I want him to do well, and hopefully he defends his title.
Yeah. Okay, and with that hope, we're going to end this show. Thank you so much, Vinayak, for joining us here. As always, hopefully India has something to cheer about, something to celebrate for, especially after what we've seen in Paris with Vinesh. We're going to say goodbye. We're going to wrap up this show. But before that, this is Neeraj Chopra's father and mother speaking about their son.
शुरू से सभी लोग कह रहे हैं कि भाई यहाँ से गोल्ड निकल सकता है, सभी लोग प्रे भी कर रहे हैं और सबकी एक मतलब आशीर्वाद दुआ भी साथ में है। तो जैसा उसके अनुरूप एक देश मतलब चाहता था, देश के लोग चाहते थे, वैसे उसके अनुरूप ही उसने अपना क्वालिफिकेशन का जो मार्क था वो पार करके अपने फाइनल की जगह बनाई है।
कैसा माहौल है आज गांव में?
आज गांव में जैसे कि दिवाली मनाते हैं उसी तरह का माहौल है। सभी लोग स्क्रीन पे अपना वहाँ बैठक में टीवी लगा था बड़ा, उस पे सभी लोगों ने बैठ के बढ़िया से चीयर किया, बढ़िया से मतलब सेलिब्रेट किया सबको, और जो मतलब लोग चाहते थे उसके अनुसार मतलब बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस हुआ।
पहले से ज़्यादा बेहतर किया और अपना ही
बिल्कुल जो पहले जो उसका मतलब वैसे तो उसका 89.94 उसका है, जो उसका एक ऊंचा मार्क है, फिर भी उसने मतलब इतना अच्छा थ्रो एक मतलब पहली थ्रो में क्वालिफिकेशन मार्क पार किया और 89.34 का जो उसने मार्क किया है वो मेरे को लगता है कि तकरीबन ये समझ लो आपके मतलब काफ़ी बेहतर है। हमारे मतलब मेडल के लिए तो हमें खड़ा ही करता है, काफ़ी अच्छा है।
बातचीत हुई कोई?
नहीं, अभी तो कुछ बात नहीं हुई। 2-4 दिन पहले 3-4 दिन पहले बात हुई थी, तो उसका यही कहना था कि बॉडी मेरी बढ़िया कवर कर रही है, बढ़िया मतलब बॉडी लैंग्वेज जो है बढ़िया है और मैं बेहतर से बेहतर करने की कोशिश करूंगा, और जो उसने आज कर भी दिखाया जैसा एक उम्मीदें सभी की थी।
अगले मैच तो जी खेल का होंगे जी, वे तैयारी करेंगे।
देखने के लिए, मैच देखने के लिए आपकी तरफ से जब परिवार की तरफ?
हाँ, तैयारी कर रखी है जी। बैठक में स्क्रीन ला रखी है बड़ी और कुर्सी कारसी जा रखी है जो आज भी लग रही थी। यहाँ भी बढ़िया मोल कर रखा है जी।
अच्छी अचीवमेंट रही उसने सारे अपने रिकॉर्ड ही खत्म अचीव कर गए।
देखो जी, वो तो सारे बच्चे लग रहे हैं, देखो कौन से की किस्मत जागेगी। मेहनत सारे बच्चे बढ़िया चल रहे हैं।
आपकी बात तो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी कहा चूरमा खाना है।
ले तो उसका पहली बार भी गए थे जी, पहली बार पहुंच नहीं पाया और रास्ते में खराब हो गया, कई दिन हो लिए थे
जी।
तो अब कभी शुक्र रखा भगवान न देवेंगे जरूर।
Who am I? Nobody can crack that mystery.
There is a certain expectation of me.
That's the only contradiction.
Life itself is stranger than fiction.
I was a perfectly normal person born in an abnormal world.
I really didn't understand why is it different.
Just imagine a child who is bullied every day.
Boys school में कुछ लड़का लोग मेरे साथ sexual abuse किए.
मुझे तेरे बारे में सब पता है और मैं तेरा रेप कर लूँगा.
You also start to stigmatize.
अरे ये तो टाइम पास है.
Sex doesn't come in the picture, sex comes very late.
Then there are man-made narratives.
Why do you walk like that? Why do you sway so much? So you can understand the trauma of a person who's trapped in a wrong body.
But nothing can bind life.
We have to reclaim the lost position. We fought for more than 10 years.
Today I'm the mother of the industry.
I'm a first transgender member judge.
You can't walk in everybody's shoes.
This is what I'm comfortable with. They just are what they are.
You become the light yourself.
That is the change that I was looking for.
When I recognize myself is a small story, but it's an interesting one.
The death toll in the Wayanad landslides has reached almost 400. So much destruction. Could it have been prevented? Is there any way to be forewarned about such disasters? These are the questions we'll look into. Can landslides be predicted? News9 Plus decodes. Well, just a few weeks before Wayanad, Idukki district in Kerala also faced a series of landslides. That's just 300 kilometers south away. Yet fortunately, it didn't cause as much damage as the authorities were warned to evacuate because these landslides were predicted. But how is that possible? Well, we'll break it down for you. Keep watching. How were the Idukki landslides predicted? Researchers from the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham have been testing a landslide early warning system in Idukki's Munnar. According to the lead researcher, Manisha Vinodni Ramesh, it is possible to predict many landslides, even if not with 100% accuracy. But even a few hours of advance notice can make a difference to those in vulnerable areas. How does the landslide early warning system work? Well, it involves intelligence wireless probes. These are basically probes installed below the ground and connected to state-of-the-art technology involving various communication systems